Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents Off the Beaten Path, and today we are looking at a replay of Super Bowl XXV, 30 years ago today. Sounds like a Beatles song. Between Buffalo and the New York Giants, it's going to be using Action PC Football. And hello, everybody, I'm Big Polly coming to you this 27th of January 2021. And this is a game near and dear to my heart. I happen to be fortunate enough to attend Super Bowl 25 with a coworker of my mother's. Long story to this, and I'll get into it a little bit more at halftime. But I want to show you the game first and foremost. There's a great story behind how I got the Super Bowl tickets. But I'm pretty much going to say this at halftime and after the game. I want to show you the game, and the game should take center stage. It was between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants, as I've probably already said. And we're recreating the weather conditions, and we're recreating the game conditions. Jeff Hostetler will be quarterbacking the Giants, not Phil Simms, and Buffalo will just be flat out Buffalo. New York has won the toss and will receive in this Super Bowl 25 replay. In real life, both teams went 13-3. In real life, the Giants, of course, prevailed, but the Bills beat the Dolphins and the Raiders to get to the Super Bowl. The Raiders then playing in Los Angeles, and the Giants played and beat the Bears and the 49ers. This is the first year that the playoffs went to 12 teams, and of course this year they went to 14. And this was also the first year they introduced the bye weeks for the first time since the 1960s. I forgot to show you some memorabilia I still have in the house of the Super Bowl that I went to. This is the Super Bowl 25 seat cushion that you often see behind me as you see me introducing whatever video I have for you all. GTE was the phone company here in Tampa Bay at the time, and some of you might remember that Dick Enberg, who was the play-by-play voice for NBC for many years, NBC Sports, passed on a few years ago. Did a lot of commercials for GTE back in the day, and they eventually got replaced by Verizon, and they eventually got replaced. Oh, actually, it's still kind of Verizon and Frontier Communications here in the Tampa Bay area. To the right is my Super Bowl ticket, and these were holograph tickets, and I believe the price on the tickets were $150. If you're trying to get a ticket for Super Bowl 55, that'll be played a week and a half here in Tampa between of course, the homestanding Buccaneers, first time ever that a home team has made the playoffs, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, the going rate on a ticket to the Super Bowl, because they're only having about 25,000 people sit in the Super Bowl, is about $24,000. So we got these tickets for $150, and it was my mother who won a promotion one of the local supermarkets have, but I'll get into that at halftime. It is Jeff Hostetler and Jim Kelly, the quarterbacks. Marv Levy and Bill Parcells, the coaches, and we'll get the game underway. New York won the toss, will receive. Remember, back in 1990, they did not have the option to defer. They did not have the two-point conversion yet. That came in 1994. It is Norwood, I believe, kicking off to Dave Meggett. Well, that was the intended plan. It was taken by one of the upbacks, which is Rodney Hampton, a gain of 16 yards to the 27. Setting the offense for the Giants, Anderson and Maurice Carthon, Otis Anderson and Maurice Carthon are the running backs. Baker and Ingram, your wideouts. Bavaro at tight end. Hostetler will be the quarterback. And we are playing by the usage rules, so Hostetler will get 20 passes out before a usage penalty is assessed upon him. It's Elliott, Moore, Oates, Roberts, and Armstrong. Not Armstrong, but Riesenberg are going to be your offensive lineman for the Giants, and Carthon will get the ball first, a rare carry for him. You see Buffalo playing a 3-4, and Carthon, who used to play for the New Jersey General, is gaining 5 yards before tallies his first tackle. And let's set the defense for Buffalo. They have a 10-plus in Bruce Smith at defensive end. Seals is the other defensive end, and Wright is the defensive tackle. Remember, they play a 3-4. Talley, Conlon, Ray Bentley, and Cornelius Bennett are the linebackers. I happened to talk to Ray Bentley about this game on Facebook a few years ago, and reminded we happened to exchange a couple of notes on Facebook through Dave Lamont, who is the ESPN commentator who does football and I believe bowling on occasion. Odoms and Jackson, Kelso and Smith are the defensive backs for the Bills. And on 1st and 10, Otis Anderson will get his first carry. It'll be another dive play, just starting out with basic elementary runs. And it's no gain. Now remember, Hostetler has to be careful. Lionel Manuel comes in as the third wide out. And they will put Hostetler, let's see, we're just going to improvise here. We're going to put him in a shotgun. I don't remember if they used the shotgun a great deal. But we'll go Lionel Manuel on the short out. Buffalo playing short and tight, so we're going to go Baker on a medium fly route. Here's the throw. It is caught near midfield and a first down, but a penalty here.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty.
And it's against Baker, so that nullifies the first down, setting up a 3rd and 10. I don't believe, because it wasn't a play without penalty, that counts against the 20 throws that Hostetler will have. We're going to slant it to Manuel on 3rd and 10. See if he gets open, and he does not. Right through his hands, double covered. And the Giants have to punt. So Sean Landetta goes in the punt. We are using 5 to 15 mile an hour winds. The real temperature and conditions for the Super Bowl were 62 degrees and a 9 mile an hour wind. So I chose 5 to 15 because that's kind of like the medium of that, or closest to it as we could get. So Landetta the punt with the wind at his back. So the Giants will have the wind advantage for the fourth quarter as well. Edwards caught it at the 19 and returned it a yard. McGrew on the tackle for the Giants. So it's 1st and 10 at the 20 for Buffalo. They have Furman Thomas and Davis as their running backs. It is Reed and Lofton at wide out. I do remember Buffalo using a lot of 3 wide receiver sets and a sole running back. McKellar is the tight end. Kelly is the quarterback out of the University of Miami. Ballard, Richter, Hall, Davis, and Wolford are your offensive linemen. Let's see what Buffalo does at 1st and 10. By the way, I am running the Giants and the computer is running Buffalo. And off tackle right, Thomas gains 2 yards, and Howard makes the tackle for New York. They play a 3-4 as well. Dorsey, Marshall, and Howard are your front 3. Lawrence Taylor, who is still at this point late in his career, a 9 outside linebacker. Johnson is a 10, DeOssie is a 5, and Banks is a 7. Those are your 4 linebackers. Collins and Walls, Emerson Walls, who they got from Dallas. Guyton and Jackson are your safeties. So back to Buffalo here, a 2nd and 8 at the 22. Throw and incompletion looking for Davis. And now Don Beebe comes into the game as a 3rd wide receiver. 3rd and 8 at the 22. And Kelly with a check down to Thomas, a gain of 9 and a first down for Buffalo. 12:07 left open in quarter of the Super Bowl XXV replay. We have no score if you are just tuning in. This is Thomas, a 3-yard gain.
Repeat first down.
But it's going to get nullified by offsetting penalties. And Buffalo starts again 1st and 10 at their own 31. It's Kelly. Looking, and finding Reed for a gain of 7, Andre Reed. Collins makes the tackle, and it's now 2nd and 3 at the 38. This is Furman Thomas with a pickup of a yard, making it 3rd and 2. Hope I'm not too rusty. I haven't done an action PC game since the HTFL first season ended. And then there's a lot of that on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. We just completed our first season. We'll be beginning our second in September, Lord willing. And if the creek doesn't rise, here's your 3rd and 2 play. Thomas, a first down. That's a gain of 5 yards. LT, Lawrence Taylor making the tackle. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 44 for Buffalo. Tampa Stadium, the host site for this game, so no team has a home field advantage. New York is the acting home team, wearing their dark uniforms, and Buffalo in their whites. It was Davis not gaining an inch as Marshall made the tackle on him, Leonard Marshall. Second and 10 at the 44 to Thomas. Thomas with a big hole, past the 40, down to the 35, and a gain of 21. Banks finally made the tackle on Thomas. And Buffalo moving now on their first possession, a first and 10 at the 35. Ninth play of the series, 4:41 off the clock, an incompletion.
Holding. Offense. Number 75, 10-yard penalty.
That's Ballard who committed a holding penalty. He is the left tackle. And it's now first and 20 at the Giant 45. Kelly, he's going to run. And he's going to get a lot of those yards back. In fact, he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 10 before Collins makes the tackle on him. Mark Collins out of Cal State Fullerton. You see him there, or you see his silhouette there. And it's now second and 10 at the Giant 35. Penalty.
Pass interference.
And that's what I was thinking.
Defense.
Pass interference against the Giants. And Guyton,
15-yard
Myron
penalty.
Guyton.
Automatic first down.
And that makes it a first and 10 at the 20 of the Giants. In real life, the Giants only held the ball. The Giants held the ball 40 minutes, and the Bills only held the ball about 19 minutes and change, countering what the Giants holding the ball for about 40 minutes and change. First and 10 at the 20. Davis, a pickup of 2. Of course, this game, was remembered for Whitney Houston's national anthem. Of course, we were in the Persian Gulf War at the time. There's a touchdown for Buffalo. That is Andre Reed getting in. And the Buffalo fans are shouting at Tampa Stadium. It is 6-0. That drive took 12 plays and 80 yards in 7 minutes and 14 seconds. And I'll go on about Whitney here in a moment. It's 7-0 as Norwood puts the extra point through, Scott Norwood. And now the Giants get the ball back, 5:49 left in the opening quarter. Again, this is taken by one of the upbacks, and that is Ingram, Mark Ingram. Gain of 22 to the 36. He's out of Michigan State. Of course, he had a son who was a star at the University of Alabama and is trying to make it in the pros, or may have already had that attempt. So a first and 10, Giants at their own 36. Again, they'll go Anderson to the right side. And this time, Otis Anderson, who came over from St. Louis a few years prior, a gain of 3 seals on the tackle. So this was the Super Bowl of Whitney Houston's famous national anthem. Short pass, attempted by Hostetler, and it's nowhere near Anderson. It's incomplete. That song was only the second time that the national anthem had made the Billboard charts, and I happened to be one of the backing vocalists for it since I was there. Only Jose Feliciano's national anthem during the 1968 World Series charted on the Billboard charts, and Whitney joined him with the patriotic rendition of the national anthem, of course, during the Persian Gulf War, and the time we didn't know how that was going to play out. Bavaro on the cross will be the play here. A blitz coming for Buffalo, 3rd and 7. And that's a sack by Cornelius Bennett. Roberts, one of the linemen, hurt his knee and hurt his ankle, and his return will be probable. So a big double hit here for the Giants, and Sean Lindetta will come in to punt. 4th and 11 at the 35. There's your punt. And Edwards a few yards, 7. Whitmore on the tackle for the Giants. And the Bills now start at their own 22 with 4:43 left. Opening quarter, they lead 7-0. Here's your first down play. Gain of 13. The Florida Orchestra, for the backing instrumentalists on that national anthem that Whitney Houston did. Yaha Ling was a longtime director of the orchestra based out of Tampa. Gain of 13. Diassi made the tackle for the Giants. Now a 1st and 10 at the 35. Kenneth Davis back to the line, and that is all. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Marker down before the play. Let's see what it is.
Offense. Number 67, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
They get Hall for a false start, and it's now 2nd and 15 at the 30. Kelly, caught by McKellar for a gain of 8. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 7 at the 38 of Buffalo. 3:08 left first quarter. In the real-life game, Buffalo got off to a hot start, and Thomas on the draw only picks up 4 yards. He needed 7. Howard made the tackle for the Giants, so the Giants will get it back on a punt. I will play regular punt formation here. I don't think Buffalo would fake it this early. Punt goes out of bounds. Tootin punting it out of bounds, rolling out of bounds at the 24, the punt going 34 yards. 1:33 now left, opening quarter. It is 7-0 in favor of the Bills. And this time we are going to try a little razzle-dazzle on the first play. We're going to go Ingram on an end around. Ingram's got it. And he gets close to first down yardage. In fact, he does get first down yardage, a gain of 10. Try to wake up the New York fans a little bit here. Off tackle right, Otis Anderson. And he will pick up 2. Again, we are using fatigue rules here. So Carthon has 4 more carries available to him. And Hostetler has 18 throws before he begins to fatigue. 2nd and 8. This could be the final. In fact, this is the final play of the first quarter. It is Buffalo 7 and New York 0. 2nd and 8. We're going to go Baker on the short cross. Mike Hostetler only threw 2 passes in that quarter. And Hostetler scrambling, and he was known for that when he played at the University of West Virginia. A gain of 13. And Kelso, the safety, comes up and makes the tackle. And the Bills were backed up a whole bunch of yards there. Giants have it at their own 49, so they're at the edge of Bills territory here. And we're going to sweep it to the right with Otis Anderson on 1st and 10. Try to keep that running game going and try to save Hostetler as much as we can for the second half. Talley tackles Anderson, a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9 at the 50. We're going to go Bavaro, and we're going to go a short hitch here. 10-yard gain. Buffalo had a 12-3 lead at one point in the second quarter. They had scored a field goal, a touchdown, and a safety. It was the very rare safety in a Super Bowl, which if you bet, is one of those things that you could prop bet in Las Vegas, whether or not there will be a safety in the Super Bowl every year, whether or not a Super Bowl will go to overtime. And of course, then the Giants came back, got a touchdown near the end of the first half to make it 12 to 10. And then I knew, watching the game, that this was going to be a close one. Otis Anderson, a sweep right on 1st and 10 at the 40. They decided long before the Gulf War started, not knowing that this was going to happen, the league, this was the first year Paul Tagliabue was the commissioner, first full season that Tags was the commissioner of the NFL. We're going to go Bavaro, medium cross on 2nd and 12. This was the first year. No, not the first year. The first year they had the byes, yes, but this was also a year they decided to play the Super Bowl, the week after the conference championship games, which has happened in NFL history a few times. But I've always thought that if you do that, the games would be closer, and this turned out to be a very close Super Bowl in real life. Now a 3rd and 12. We're going to go Lionel Manuel, medium slant, and see if he can get open. Hostetler throws. He's open. That was Manuel, a gain of 19. And now the Giants are looming at the Buffalo 23. Back to Carthon on the dive. 1st and 10. And Carthon! Maurice Carthon, 16 yards, tackled by the aforementioned Ray Bentley at the 7-yard line. Now a 1st and goal at the 7. What do the Giants do here? We're going to go play action to Bavaro. Short pass. See if they could cash it in right here. Hostetler is back. And it's picked off. Picked off by Nate Odoms. So the Giants' deep drive into the Buffalo end of the field goes stymied. And it's the Bills picking it up at the 2. and it'll be a 1st and 10 from there. So Jim Kelly gives it to Thomas. Thomas does not gain much. In fact, he doesn't gain anything. Leonard Marshall makes the tackle, and it's a 2nd and 10 from the 2. 10:19 left to go in the half. 7-0 Buffalo leading. Lofton on the catch. James Lofton, who came over from Green Bay, where he started his career, I believe. That's a gain of 11. So now the Bills out of end zone jail. 1st and 10 at the 13. This is an end around Andre Reed, and he does not gain much. In fact, he doesn't gain anything. Steve Diassi making the tackle. 2nd and 10 at the 13. You were wondering which network carried the Super Bowl. It was ABC back when they had the football package. And it was the Monday Night Crew of Al Michaels, Dan Deerdorf, and Frank Gifford who called the game worldwide. 3rd and 10 at the 13. Peter Jennings provided Gulf War updates during the end of the quarters and halves. And they would carry them. In fact, the NBC telecast of the Bills-Raiders AFC Championship was interrupted frequently by events at the Persian Gulf War. I believe there was a Scud missile skirmish in either Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, and they interrupted the game and provided coverage of that for quite a while. To punt, Buffalo, Tootin. And that's a good punt. Now Buffalo with the wind advantage for the 2nd quarter and the 3rd. Dave Meggett, gets in and returns at 13 yards to the 50. So that's where the Giants will take over. It's 7-0 with 7:10 to go in the half. Pitch left, Otis Anderson. And Anderson will pick up 5 yards. Bruce Smith making the tackle. We're going to take Otis Anderson out, and we're going to put little Dave Meggett in the game, speak of him. He could touch the ball 5 times, and Bill Parcells would count on Meggett to give his running game a little bit of a boost here and there, so he'll get the ball here on a sweep. And there he goes, little Dave Meggett. Gain of 18, and a 1st down for the Giants. Meggett out of Towson. And that sets up a 1st and 10. We'll take Meggett out and put Otis back in. He had 225 carries. Meggett only had 22. But he was a bit of a spark plug for the Giants when called upon on that 1990-91 team. Trap right, Otis Anderson, 1st and 10 from the 27. As you see here, Giants trying to dominate the line of scrimmage as they did in the real-life Super Bowl XXV. Now a 2nd and 8 from the 25. We are going Baker, medium out. Can Stephen Baker be a touchdown maker? As Chris Berman of ESPN often said, and that's it right there, a touchdown to Baker from 25 yards out, a medium out pass. And Baker had room, and it's 7-6. Extra point try, good by Matt Barr. Another one of the players of the 80s to eventually go to the New York Giants. It's a 7-7 tie with 4:29 now left. It is Smith, it is Edwards, it is Beebe back deep. Smith catching it at about the goal line, moves it out to the 20. He was a yard deep, so it was a 21-yard return. 4:17 now left in a half. We're dead even. Much like Super Bowl XXV, when that safety that Bruce Smith got was the only difference at the half. 2nd and 11. This is Davis. He's stoned at the line for a gain of just a yard. Now a 3rd and 10 at the 20. 3 wide in the game for Buffalo. And that is caught by McKellar. And that's a gain of 15. New York will not burn a timeout here. They'll let the timeout burning to the Bills. A 1st and 10 at the 35. Screen. Thomas. He will gain 6 yards. Lawrence Taylor with a stinger. He is out for the game, and that's a huge loss for the Giants. That didn't occur in real life. 2nd and 4 at the 41. We have Cooks, Johnson, Diassi, and Banks in at the linebacker spots. So here's your 2nd and 4 play. Completed to Thomas, but a marker.
Holding offense. Number 51, 10-yard penalty.
And that'll negate the first down. Holding against Richter. And it's 2nd and 14 at the 31. 2:06 left in the half. Davis on the screen, and he'll get the first down yardage. Pickup of 16. We're at the 2-minute warning. It's a 7-7 tie, each team with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 1st and 10, 1:51 to go. Thomas into the secondary and a pickup of 16. Thomas has 10 carries for 61 yards. Kelly so far in the game, 8 for 10 for 90. Hostetler struggling a little bit, 3 out of 7 for 54 yards and 1 pick. 1st and 10 at the Giant 37 with 1:33 to go. Buffalo just using a timeout. And they keep it on the ground with Thomas. Giants will not call a timeout. Buffalo will get quickly to the line, I would think. Pass in the flat, looking for Reed, right through his hands, hit by Collins. Now a 3rd and 6 at the 33. Here's your throw into the flat. It's Reed again. Pickup of 10. Reed now has 3 grabs for 35. Kelly is now 9 for 12 on 100 yards. 1st and 10 at the 23 of the Giants. Throw. Caught.
Holding offense. Number 65.
The McKellar grab is going to be wiped out by the penalty to Davis. It's now a 1st and 20 at the Giant 33. We have 47 ticks left in the first half clock. Thomas, a gain of 5. 10 for 13 and 105 yards is Jim Kelly so far. He's taking an early bid for Super Bowl MVP honors. 2nd and 15 at the 28 now. Again, a screen to Thomas, and he gets out of bounds again. Emerson Walls pushed him out. Gain of 8. It's now 3rd and 7 at the 20. Kelly back to throw. Incomplete. Deflected by Collins. And now Norwood, Scott Norwood. You may have heard of his impact in this Super Bowl game. He will try a 37-yard field goal attempt to give the Bills the lead. And do I have to say it? No good. Wide right. But it's early yet. So we have a 7-7 tie, 14 seconds to go. And I am just going to have, let's see, with 2 timeouts, I'm just going to have Hostetler take a knee. And we'll go to the half. Now, Buffalo's using timeouts, so but they can't stop me. Buffalo calls their last timeout, 10 seconds left. I'm going to take a knee again. Thank you very much. And now they can't stop the clock. We go to the half. It's a 7-7 tie. And I'm going to take a refreshment break for about 30 to 60 seconds. You take yours, and we will be right back. So the story goes like this as far as how I got the Super Bowl tickets. I was working in radio at the time. I had just finished working about a year for a radio station in Clearwater, Florida, called WTAN, and a syndicated network out of the Feather Sound area of Clearwater had hired me. The name's not important because this network is no longer around and hasn't been since 1995. But they would provide syndicated radio shows to a whole bunch of stations across the country that needed the airtime filled when they didn't have their own programming to go to. So that's where I came in. And around this time, I was dating a young woman who lived in the northern part of Clearwater, right up by Dunedin, not too far from Grant Field, and where the Toronto Blue Jays have their spring training. And what had happened was I get a call. I forget when this was. This was either late in December of 1990 or early in this January 1991 from my mother, and she says, "PJ." PJ is what she calls me because I am Paul Joseph Blum Jr. That's my real name, and my father shares the same name. She said, "I won Super Bowl tickets. You're going to get to go to the Super Bowl." It had nothing to do with my radio connections at all. My mom just she entered her name into a drawing for Super Bowl tickets because the host city of the Super Bowl always got like about 10% of the tickets. I don't know what it is nowadays, of course, because of COVID. It might be a little different. They're giving a third of the Super Bowl tickets this year to the COVID workers, and I totally agree with that. But um, she won the Super Bowl tickets, so we went right around the time the Persian Gulf War started over to the Cash and Carry headquarters. Cash and Carry was the name of the supermarket that she participated in the drawing. It was a big supermarket at the time, and they are no longer around. I think that Walmart basically bought them out. They changed their name to Sweet Bay at some point in the 2000s, but they they no longer have the footprint here in the Tampa Bay area they used to. So Cash and Carry changed their name to Sweet Bay, and then I think Walmart bought up a lot of their stores to Walmart and became Walmart grocery stores all over the Bay Area to go along all the super centers they have here in the Bay Area. But another thing was going on. My father was getting very ill at the time. Uh, we're getting ready to go to the Super Bowl, and my mom, some radio station had called her and said, "You won the Super Bowl tickets." Saying my mom, and my mom said to them, "Hey, my dad's very, my husband, my father, her husband, was very ill at the time." And so what she decided to do was she gave her ticket to one of her coworkers who was a big New York Giants fan. So that's how I got to go see the Super Bowl. And I was working overnight shifts at this syndicated radio network, which I will keep nameless. So I'm getting off at 8. I get home at 9 o'clock, about 8:39 every morning. And I sleep till about 3. And then if I had work the following night, I went back in about, work midnight to 8. So I'd have to leave at 11, go back in at 12. And I could see my dad was getting very sick. He wasn't a big Giants fan, but he loved Tom Landry, and he loved the Dallas Cowboys because that's where he wound up being a head coach. But Tom Landry, of course, was the defensive coordinator, the defensive coach of the New York Giants back in 1958, the year they went to and played the greatest game ever with the Baltimore Colts and went to sudden death overtime. The offensive coordinator you may have heard of, a guy by the name of Vince Lombardi, and the head coach was Jim Lee Howell. So he was watching the Giants game, and I could see Giants game with the Bears, the divisional playoff game, and I could see he was getting sick. And they sat me down. I was 19 at the time. My dad was in his early 60s, and just gave me the facts of life and said, he's not going to be around too much longer. So it was decided that I would go to the Super Bowl, and a coworker of my mother's would drive me up and drive me back. So that's pretty much the story. And we went to see the Super Bowl, and we went, of course, the things I remember were Whitney Houston's national anthem. They had the 25th anniversary team introduced before the game, kind of like they do nowadays, every big Super Bowl, like 50, 40. I don't think they're doing it with 55 because 55 is not really a memorable number. But they would always get the heroes of Super Bowls passed together, and they would be recognized. Pete Rozelle was recognized on his way out the door, and I think with Pete Rozelle, pretty much was the best commissioner the NFL had. That's my personal take. So I was happy to see him from a distance, and you could see the TV and the radio people getting notes for the game. Like you could see Al Michaels, and you could see Frank Gifford wandering around on the field before the game. You could see Hank Stram because his toupee was like the size of an area code, and you could see Jack Buck, who many of you now know as Joe Buck's father, because Joe Buck is a very prominent sportscaster this day. So that was pretty much it. And of course, the Whitney Houston song was a very big hit in the spring of 1991 as we eventually defeated Iraq and won the Persian Gulf War. But we would have unfinished business with them throughout the next decade or so. I'll give you an epilogue after the game, but right now let's get back to the game. Enough of me blabbering. It's 7-7. The Giants and the Bills playing each other here in the Super Bowl 25 reenactment. Buffalo will get the ball. To start quarter number 3, it is Smith, Edwards, and Beebe back again, deep for Buffalo. Remember, Lawrence Taylor in this replay is out of the game with a stinger. And Smith, a 21-yard return. Brown on the tackle at the 27. So he took it from the 6 to the 27. It is 1st and 10 from there. And let's see what Jim Kelly does. They have 113 yards passing. And now it's a good catch by McKellar. Gain of 22. And Kelly red hot, 12 of 16 and 135 yards. The weather conditions we pretty much close to perfectly recreated from the game itself, 62 degrees. They had a 9-mile-an-hour wind. They had a little drizzle in the second half, I could tell you about. I don't know if the commentators reported on it, but there was a little drizzle around the third or fourth quarter as the game wore on, but it was over and done with like within about 5 minutes. 1st and 10 at the 49. It was a cloudy, I would say a dreary day, but kind of cool for Tampa. 7-yard gain. That is Thurman Thomas with Johnson bringing him down, Pepper Johnson. But the Bills already now in Giant territory at the 44 on their only just 2 plays to take them into the plus side of the field. This is Thurman, 1-yard gain, Marshall on the tackle for the Giants. Now a 3rd and 2 at the 43. Each team coming into this Super Bowl 15-3.
False start. Offense. Number 67, 5-yard penalty.
Hull called for the false start. 3rd and 7 at the 48. Screen pass. Thomas. A 1st down. Pickup of 12. And it's 13 for 17 is Kelly for 147 yards. Thomas, to go along with his 13 carries for 73 yards so far, he has 5 catches for 40 yards. 1st and 10 at the 36 of the Giants. A throw, a catch, and McKellar again, a 15-yard gain. McKellar has 4 catches for 60 yards. And right now, without Lawrence Taylor, the Giants having all kinds of trouble trying to solve Jim Kelly. Thurman Thomas into the secondary again, a gain of 16, and Collins was hurt. He is out for the game, so it's now going to be Williams, Walls, Guyton, and Jackson in the defensive backfield for the Giants, so they're getting marred by injuries. 1st and goal at the 5, and Thurman Thomas has a touchdown. Let's see. It was Andre Reed getting the first touchdown for the Bills. And Thurman Thomas now getting a second, not too long after he played his college ball at Oklahoma State. 14-7, Buffalo leading the Giants. Meggett, Hampton, Ingram back deep for the Giants, so I want to acknowledge those returners. And ironic that in a game where the Giants held the ball for 40 minutes in real life, Buffalo has held the ball 22-20 so far in this game, and the Giants have only held the ball for 12 minutes and 24 seconds. So it's kind of a role reversal here. It's the Bills playing possession football, whereas in real life it was the Giants doing likewise. Anderson on a sweep, 1st and 10. That's a gain of 4. Odom's on the tackle for the Bills. Ball to 27. We're going to go Carthon, and we're going to go back to him on a trap left. Blitz coming. 2nd and 6. And Carthon picks up 8. Jumbo Elliott won't return. So the penalty situation being very unkind to the Giants. You got Tom Redder, I believe that is, out of Notre Dame, a guard tackle coming into the game. And it is 1st and 10 Giants at their own 35. Medium out to Stephen Baker. He threw it into double coverage, it looked like, but that's incomplete. It was Odom's jumping the route, and Hostetler is now 3 of 8 for 54 yards. We're going to go Baker, slant, 2nd and 10 from the 35. And Baker beats the loose coverage by Buffalo for a 13-yard gain, and that is a 1st down. Giants will go double tight end, which brings Bavaro and Cross into the game. Howard Cross. Sweep right, Otis Anderson. Giants are going to try to win this game on the ground, as they tried to do in the real life Super Bowl 25. That's a gain of 11. First and 10 at the 41. Anderson, sweep right. Gain of 5. Bennett on the tackle. And it is second and 5 at the 36. Off tackle right, Otis Anderson. Gain of 2. Giants have run the ball 20 times for 100 yards for a 5-yard average. The Bills so far, 21 carries, 107 yards for 5.1 and a touchdown. Okay, Anderson getting a little peaked, so we're going to put Dave Meggett back in the game, see if they could get a spark off of him. Sweep right. Blitz coming. And Meggett again, another big gain. It's 11 yards. Bennett on the stop. And this is Giant football, or at least how they used to play it back in 1990. First and 10 at the 23. This drive, this will be the 9th play coming up. 54 yards achieved so far. They're going to go Carthon on a medium sweep. A sweep to the right side, I should say. No gain. And Carthon getting a little winded. We'll go back to Meggett. Pitch left. Run him to the outside, see what that brings. And he's tackled at the 19, a 4-yard gain. Meggett goes back out, and Otis Anderson comes back in. 3rd and 6. We're going to go for a short pass to Mark Bavaro. Instead, it is dumped to Carthon, and he gains 13 yards. And the Giants have it at the Buffalo 6. 11 plays, 71 yards to drive so far. First and 10. And we're going to go Anderson, who should be a bit renewed here. Off tackle left side. I should have gone off tackle right. Gain of 2. And it's now second and goal at the Buffalo 4. Hostetler is going to run this one. Sweep to the right side. Since he's such a good runner, gained a little bit, but no gain. So now 3rd and goal at the 4. And we're going to go Bavaro on a slant to try to get it. Incomplete. Pike shaken up, number 94. He's one of the defensive ends. Out for a few plays, so they bring in Lodish. But right now, decision time for the Giants. I'm going to try to get the touchdown. And I will let the... We're going to go to Bavaro again. 4th and goal from the 4. Hostetler runs, scores, touchdown. You knew something good was going to happen there, or at least that's what I thought. And now it's a point away from a tie Super Bowl. Here is your point after try. Good by Barr, and it is 14-all. 1:34 now left, 3rd quarter. The drive went 15 plays, 77 yards, and took 8:42 off the clock. Time of possession now almost even. Buffalo with advantage of 1 minute and 4 seconds. 22-20 to New York's 21:06. Smith, Edwards, Beebe, again back deep for the Bills. Should be Smith who took it. And it was a 27-yard return out to the 33. 1:28 left in the 3rd quarter. I was looking at the down and distance marker. That's why I kind of did that. First and 10 at the 33. And Kelly is back. He's looking, and that's an incomplete pass. And he hasn't thrown too many of those. That was his 5th incompletion. Looking for Thomas, but Pepper Johnson all over him. 2nd and 10 at the 33. It is Kelly again. And McKellar with another big catch, a gain of 12. That's his 5th grab. 72 yards on the day. 1st and 10 now at the Buffalo 45. Davis, a little bit of a run there, 2 yards.
Encroachment defense. Number 70, 5-yard penalty.
Leonard Marshall with the encroachment. 1st and 5 now at midfield as that wipes the 2-yard gain on the run out. A fumble recovered by the Giants. Davis ran it. Dorsey forced the fumble. Cooks recovers it for the G-men. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 49 of the Giants. Sweep right by Otis Anderson. His 13th carry of the day, and he has not had the game that he had in the real-life Super Bowl, a gain of 3 yards. He's only had 38 yards rushing on those 13 carries. Carthon has been a bit more effective, 4 carries and 29 yards, and that's the end of quarter number 3. It is 14-14. Start quarter number 4. We'll go Baker. Let me see here. Yeah, we're going to go Baker on the slant. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. He's already got a touchdown. And again, he beats the soft coverage of Buffalo for a 12-yard gain. Odom's on the tackle for the Bills. 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 36. And the Giants are going to try to slow the game down a little bit here. Carthon, trap left, and he is stopped behind the line. Check the penalty.
Defense. Number 78, 5-yard penalty.
Bruce Smith with the defensive encroachment. New life for the Giants, a 1st and 5. Anderson, no, we're going to go Carthon with another inside run. He's straight ahead. He picks up 6 yards. Of course, Carthon blocked for Herschel Walker when they each played for the New Jersey Generals. The owner, of course, being the president that was just kicked out of office about a week or so ago. And we'll leave it at that. Trap left, Otis Anderson. So if I say Donald Trump's name, you're all going to get mad at me. 3-yard gain for Otis. Kelso on the stop. And it's 2nd and 7 at the 22. Yes, kids. DJT did a few things before he became president. Hostetler, an inside run, 2nd and 7. And Hostetler has been successful on the designed running plays for him. That was a gain of 10. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 12. And the Giants have all kinds of momentum working for them right now. This is going to be play action. To Bavaro, a short cross. Touchdown, Giants. They take the lead. Mark Bavaro. As I crush a can of Coca-Cola. Yes, I still drink the Cokes, and I shouldn't be. And I also have a backup supply of water. Extra point try by Matt Barr. Good, just barely within the left upright. And it's 21-14 with 11:43 now left. In this reenactment of Super Bowl XXV that was played at Tampa Stadium in Tampa, Florida, which was the last time Tampa Stadium has held the Super Bowl, held host to the Super Bowl. The first was back in 1984 when the Redskins got swamped by the LA Raiders, 38-9, and a game that a lot of the experts thought was going to be close, but the Raiders just came in playing at another level. Of course, that was memorable for the 75-yard touchdown run. Or was it 74 yards that Marcus Allen got at the end of the third quarter to make it 35-9 and really put that game away? Smith, Edwards, Beebe back deep for Buffalo. The next Super Bowl Tampa would get would be Super Bowl 35 between the Giants and the Baltimore Ravens. Abrams made the tackle on Smith, the return only going 14, so not a good return at all for the Bills, who trail now by 7. 1st and 10 at the 14. First time they have trailed so far in this game. Gain of 9. Richter was blocking for Davis, had some daylight, but Emerson Walls making the tackle. 2nd and 1 at the 22. This is Thomas. Quick track to the right side, but Banks beat him to the punch. Carl Banks. And they don't gain a yard. 3rd and a yard at the 23. Thomas picking up 6 to go at 100 yards on the day on his 17th carry, 5.9 average so far per carry. And it's a 1st and 10 for Buffalo. They trail by 7, and there is 9:50 now left in regulation time. First Super Bowl to go to overtime was, of course, Super Bowl 51. And the real life score of this Super Bowl was as close as you could get to a game going overtime. It ended up being the Giants 20 and the Bills 19. Here in this reenactment, of course, it is 21-14 Giants, 2nd and 4 at the 35. Here is Thomas into the secondary, into Giant territory, a gain of 18, and that takes it all the way down to the Giant 47. 1st and 10, 8:15 now left in regulation time. Thomas, pitch to the left side, gains 5. Johnson makes the tackle. Jamie Mueller has now entered the game in favor of Furman Thomas. He can get 6 carries at most. 2nd and 5 at the 42. As Thomas was a little winded. A 3rd and 5 now after Mueller only he gained nothing. 3rd and 5. 3 wides, and that is caught by Andre Reed, now in the Hall of Fame, a 14-yard gain. Kelly now 16 of 21 for 188 yards. 6 minutes now left. 1st and 10 at the 28. This is wide open and a touchdown to Lofton, James Lofton. He was so wide open, he had his own zip code for rent in the Tampa Bay area. See, the old way you used to say this before COVID was to say he was so wide open he was quarantined, but you don't say that anymore. Okay, 21-20. Point after, no good by Norwood. Ho! How about that? And remember, in 1990, there was no two-point conversion, so this could loom large. 21-20. 5:08 to go. Let me show you that again. Norwood pushed it left, the extra point. Oh boy. Meggett, Hampton, Ingram back deep for the Giants. They lead by that missed extra point of 21-20. Now Buffalo was kicking into the wind there, so Meggett had to come all the way up to the 13 to make the catch. He goes 23 yards to the 36. 1st and 10 to the 36. Rodney Hampton now in the game. We'll go to him on a trap right. Gain of 2. Jackson hurt. Cornelius Bennett makes his 10th tackle. Let's feature Rodney Hampton. He's out of Georgia. 21-year-old, 5'11", 221. 2nd and 8. We're going to go Otis, sweep right. That is a gain of 3. 3rd and a 5er. 4:46 now left. And we're going to go short pass, and we're going to look to Bavaro again. Looked like Buffalo was playing a nickel. That's an incomplete pass. Hostetler, 7 of 4, 104 yards. But he might have the run. He ran for a touchdown, and then he threw a touchdown to Bavaro, and before that he threw one to Baker. 4th and 5, the Giants will punt. Here is Landetta, Sean Landetta, the longtime Giant kicker, before going to other teams. 48 yards on the punt. Edwards fair catching it at the 11. We have 3:57 left, and it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Thomas is going to be trapped behind the line, a loss of a yard. Howard, Eric Howard, making the tackle. Now a 2nd and 11, the ball at the 10. Kelly, and this is McKellar, and he has another big gain. This is for 33 yards, putting him over 100 on the day, and Kelly now 18 to 23 for 249 yards. By the way, we're using Action PC Football, and we're using the season set from 1990. I have every season set going back to 1956. Thank you very much. 1st and 10 at the 43. So Buffalo getting the big gain here, trying to get in position for the game winner. Marshall is going to remain in the game after being injured in the hand. It was Thomas stopped for no gain by Carl Banks. 2nd and 10 at the 43. It's Kelly on the run. He's sacked by Howard, Eric Howard. A loss of 6. So now a huge pressure down here for Buffalo. 3rd and 16 at their own 37. They have Reed up top. They have James Loft in the right split end, and in the slot is the running back, Kenneth Davis. And another sack. Banks getting to Kelly that time. And the offense stays on the field, a 4th and 24. And I don't know if Buffalo's going to run a play here or let the clock tick down to 2 minutes. We'll see. They do run a play. And Kelly will throw here. And it's intercepted by 47. Jackson. Greg Jackson with his first pick. And that takes us under 2 minutes. So Buffalo cannot use the 2-minute timeout, as Green Bay attempted to last week against Tampa Bay in the 2021 real-life NFC Championship that the Bucs won 31-26. Giants with a 1-point lead, that missed extra point by Scott Norwood, who missed a field goal at the end of the real-life Super Bowl 25. He again is looming large here. So right now, the Giants will play it safe and dive it with Anderson. A first down here would ice the game for them.
Encroachment, defense. Number 91, 5-yard penalty.
Wright with the defensive encroachment. That is Jeff Wright out of Central Missouri State, as you see there. Now a 1st and 5. Buffalo did not have to use a timeout because the penalty stops the clock. Trap right, Otis Anderson. They need a first. Not an inch. And Buffalo calls timeout. We're going to go Carthon. Again, playing it safe. We do not want to give up a fumble. Trap left. No gain for Carthon. Buffalo calls time. They have 1 timeout left. We have 1:33 now left in the game. Okay, so here's the situation. Put Carthon in the block, and we're going to sweep it right with Otis Anderson. On an average, he'll gain 3 yards on this play. He only gains 1, and Buffalo uses their last timeout. We only have a 30% chance of hitting a field goal here. If we do, Buffalo, with the miss, would get it at the 35. So what I'm going to do, I can't do a pooch punt, though. That's the problem, because Landeta might pooch it into the end zone. What to do? Well, even if it goes in the end zone, Buffalo has to start 15 yards away. If I miss a field goal, they'd still get it at the 35, because the rules about the ball going back to the kick spot don't kick in until 1994. So I'm going to pooch it with Landeta and see if I can get something good here. And I don't. Touchback. But that still pushes Buffalo back 15 yards. So, all right, the game is in their hands. 1:22 left. 1st and 10 at the 20. It's 21-20 in favor of the Giants. Kelly to McKellar. He gets out of bounds. A pickup of 12. And then Kelly now 19-25. McKellar with 117 yards on 7 grabs. 1st and 10 at the 32. Screen. Thomas, and that might have been just as well that he dropped it, because he would have to have gotten out of bounds with the Buffalo Bills not having any timeouts left. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Kelly. Andre Reed into the secondary. Gains 37. The ball moves to the Giant 31. We have 42 seconds to go. Clock ticking. See what Kelly does here. He spikes the ball, and wisely so, with 26 seconds to go. They will bring Norwood on to try the field goal right here from 48 yards, which is right around the spot in real life where he kicked the field goal that could have given the Bills the win. Here, they are trying to win it. 48 yards. I believe in real life the kick that he made at the end of the game was 46 or 47. 26 seconds left, so the Giants will still have time for a few plays, no matter what. And here we go. Can Norwood repeat history? He does. No good. No good. Hostetler will just kneel on the ball. And oh, I do not want to be Scott Norwood. And that's your final score, a 21-20 Giants win. In real life, they won by a point, 20-19. In this game, they win by a point, 21-20, on a missed extra point by Norwood, who missed a chance to win the game, just like in real life. How uncanny. So we'll go through the stats. First, let's see who the MVP award goes to. It goes to Hostetler. And we'll show you that. That's the scoring summary again. 5:06. Kelly hit a 28-yarder to Lofton, but the kick for the extra point went wide left. Unbelievable how this game kind of mirrored in many ways this actual Super Bowl. Buffalo had 435 yards and a one-to-time of possession battle this time, 33-01 to the Giants, 26-59. Each team 2 of 3 from the red zone, 2 touchdowns and 3 tries, 11 penalties in the game. Giants only ran 14 passes. They had 50 plays. Buffalo had 59. Let's see here. Buffalo had 3 passes of more than 25 yards. The Giants had 1. Buffalo had 6 runs of 10 yards or more. New York had 7. Only 3 quarterback sacks in the entire game, and New York got back-to-back sacks at one stage. And all in all, kind of even and kind of reminiscent of their real-life Super Bowl. Kelly was the better thrower, 20 of 28, 298, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns, was sacked twice, and 3 of his passes went over 25 yards. The leading rusher, Thurman Thomas, 22 carries, 128 yards. McKellar, the tight end for Buffalo, had the biggest game, 7 catches for 117. And I always like to look and give you the leading defender in terms of tackles. That was Cornelius Bennett with 11 tackles. So how about that, folks? So let me just give you a little bit of an epilogue to the story. We got back from Tampa Stadium. And immediately I go in and talk to my father. My father liked the game. He said, it was a good game. Did you have a good time? I said yes, and I went off to bed because I didn't have to work that night at the radio station. I was not scheduled in again until Tuesday afternoon because sometimes I worked afternoons. And they had a radio station at the syndicated network that they ran out of the same place. It was called WEND in Brandon, and we ran it from Clearwater. And I'm with my girlfriend the following day, January 28th, 1991, and my girlfriend cleaned a lot of offices after hours, after business hours, and I call home, and I had an aunt and an uncle living with my mom at the time, and they said, "You better come home. You better come." Didn't say what. Didn't say what had happened. I knew my father was in bad shape, and about midway through the ride, I look at my girlfriend and I say, "Oh yeah, I think my dad died." And she was very, very sorry and all that. I get home. That's exactly what had happened. My father had died at 6 o'clock the following night, the night after the Super Bowl. So he got to see one more Super Bowl in his life. So tomorrow will be the 30th anniversary of my father's passing. And that's how that ended. But it was a fun game, and if you ever get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, I totally endorse it. I totally say you should go. You should have a good time. I don't know if that's the moral of the story, that you got to enjoy. You got to enjoy life as you can, and that's kind of like how I live my life, or try to anyway. Sometimes I don't succeed, but that's been the game, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. We're going to do Grand Slam Wrestling tomorrow, Thursday, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye for now, everybody.